Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this talk show are those of the individuals appearing on the show and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Investigator TV.
Yo, what's up everybody? This is your boy Palazzo. I'm here to introduce you to a brand new app. Application impya. Bajita Tubichima Mobile Waste. Yeah man, mwatulabako danga tugenze wakati na kasasiro. Kati bobanga omulina ewaka, just call. Yeah man, Tubichima. Download the application. Kweriku Apple, kweriku Android. Yeah man, you can download it on Google Play, in the App Store. Bajita Tubichima. Kasasiro yena ali waka ali kuchalo. Oyagala bamunona, we are the ones otuse. Download the application. Tubichima application. Tubichima Mobile Waste. Tubinona direct. Yeah man.
Welcome to the Investigator TV Special World Affairs Report. Like, share, subscribe, and welcome to the show. On set, philosopher Boza kubatulaba.
Yes, nja kwebasa abalayi baffe aba investigator mwebale mwenna buli omu gyasinziro tulaba ate namwe abatuwa trust nti abantu bangi babeera ne complaints zaabwe bazeeta ku investigator bamanyi nti abo zibasobola okutuuka eriki eri ensi so kitulaga nti ddala tulinako levate gye batuteekako abantu baffe tubeebalisa ddala naawe buli omu ayina ensonga n'ayina kyayagala okupresentinga okuparticipatingamu tukuwa chance n'oleeta ensonga yo ne tugyogerako ate ne tulaba tusobola okusolvinga ku bizibu ebimu eby'eggwanga. Kyasanyu nnyo bwendi olwaleero tulina abagenyi ab'enjawulo betumanyi nti they are so resourceful era nga bajja tuyambira ddala mu kusobola okutabbulula omu ku bulipo obutulemeredde so nja kubeebaza okuba nti nno ndi nabo wano nammwe abalabi baffe nja kubeebasa Kaso Samuel Gemanya.
Wow. The gentleman on my immediate right, Mukuru Kato, weyanjulira abatulaba.
Abatulaba amanya gange nze Kato Innocent era nkola mulimu gwa air cargo transportation era nebaza investigator okundeeta wano era nina n'ensonga ezindeese wano eziri important n'abalabi baffe namwe mbeebaza okuba nti mugoberera ensonga ku investigator mwebalimu.
Wow. Gwe oli mu kago ba air freight business ate eyakava ku nnyonyi afande buuza kubatulaba.
Kese mbalamusiza nnyo abagolezi baffe aba Investigator TV. Mwebale nnyo we mutali tetuliiwo amaanyi gali erimwe gava erimwe amanya mpitibwa Banda Joshua Kabalu nga nakawumula amagye ag'eggwanga lya United States of America nawumula mwezi gwa kubiri kati naze kukyala ku Uganda era ndi Uganda kati.
Wow, Nande Jaco David Waluka 24/7 like an AK-47 time tells tales. In life, buli omu aba ayagala greener pastures, and at the moment the greenest pastures are going overseas. Abantu abamu gye bagenda oba mu Bwarabu ne banoonyaayo emirimu gy'abakadama n'ebinala. However, waliwo emirimu abannayuganda gye bettanira ejja ettunzi ennyo. Egyo emirimu giri mu security circles. And some of these security circles employment waiver eri mu mawanga gali mu Iraq, Afghanistan, and now Russia plus Ukraine. During their tours on duty, abantu abasinga bakoze ensobi nnyingi nnyo era wetwogerera waliwo abannayuganda basukka mu bisatu mayitire gaabwe agatategeerekeka bulungi nga ne b'obuuza embassy ya Uganda oba eya Russia oba Ministry of Internal Affairs tewali akuwa kituufu. Olunaku lwa leero tulina omwami Kato Innocent agenda okutuviira ku ntono how this Russian movement of security personnel operates in Uganda. Mr. Kato, how did you come to get to know about the Russia or Ukraine recruitment process?
Okay, this process started way back in 2024. The first group, I got to know about this when I went to media. The first group was recruited in 2024 around December. but they traveled in January 2025. The first group, they were actually 3 Ugandans. They actually even paid money to get these jobs in Russia. The tours and travel agency that was offering jobs to these Ugandans, we know of 3 who went in January. They had told them that in Russia there could be some jobs that fits their qualifications, and among them is Kasima Benson. He went with 3 Ugandans. It wasn't, they didn't go through legal channels. The tours and travel offer, they gave them visas and they traveled to Russia. But this is the information I got from the brother. When this first group reached in Russia, for them, they didn't go to the military camps. They first went in Moscow, but along the way, they were caught. And I think that was the same time Russia-Ukraine war was starting. So they caught them and they were taken to the military camps. When they reached the military camps, they were forced to sign military contracts. And eventually, they were deployed on the front line. Unfortunately, they died in the first week of their deployment on the front line. Ukraine front line is something else. It is an advanced war. And remember, these Ugandans, the first group, most of them didn't have like military experience. They had gone to Russia to do same skilled jobs like driving, security. They had not planned to go into military.
Battle.
Yes, but it so happened that at that same time, bali bagala like manpower, so they were put in military. It was under duress. The brother actually works with SFC. This brother called Benson died in around March, and the other ones died around January. But the most unfortunate part is ono muganda wono agezezaako
akola mu SFC.
Yes, akola mu SFC. He's next to the power, but he has tried for 1 year. Before the brother died, he approached our ambassador begging for this brother to at least get repatriated. He went to all our government ministries, even individuals who could help, but none helped him. And eventually, he died on the front line, and these the other 3. Then from around March up to July, there is a big number of Ugandans that were recruited the same way. But we do not have like clear documentation about these Ugandans. The documentation that we have starts from around August, but between between March and July, there is one group that was recruited by a Russian called Dimitri. He came to Uganda. He was given a visa, of course. He came to Uganda and he started the recruitment. Of course, he had some collaborators. I might not mention names here, but he had collaborators. He was called
Through a company or he's doing it?
Illegal recruitment. He came from Russia and started the recruitment in Uganda. And the first group he recruited, this Russian, was trying to go through Entebbe airport around July. It was even in the newspapers, even on TV. They were intercepted at Entebbe airport. There were 11 Ugandans. When they questioned them, of course, they jailed them for a short time. But when they jailed them and questioned, they had to reveal the person that recruited them. And Dimitri was arrested, plus his other collaborators. But under unclear circumstances, he got released and got deported back to Russia. This Dimitri we are talking about. When he reached in Russia, he had laid foundation here in Uganda. And among the people that were arrested with him, he made sure he made them as his collaborators. And among these Ugandans that were intercepted at the airport, remember, these are Ugandans that had worked in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Somalia. So these Ugandans created WhatsApp groups. You know, they used to work in Iraq and Afghanistan, and when they were chasing their compensation and claims, they formed WhatsApp groups. And in these WhatsApp groups, there are around 200, 300, 500. So these Ugandans that were caught going through Entebbe airport, we are coming from these WhatsApp groups. So it was easy for this Dimitri to get contacts of these Ugandans. He was targeting actually these Ugandans who had
served.
Yeah, who had. They were not like military. They had worked with Americans as security guards. Yeah. And I'm also among the Ugandans that worked in Iraq as security guards. We are just basically guarding America camps. It wasn't military. So these gentlemen were in WhatsApp groups. And remember, these Ugandans, like as I've told you, were coming from these WhatsApp groups. So it was easy for them to mobilize from these WhatsApp groups. When they got arrested and Dimitri also got deported, he continued communicating with these Ugandans he had met. And these Ugandans, of course, he was financing everything. He was funding their ticket, he was funding their visa, he was funding the transportation and everything. He facilitated everything. So this, when he left and went back to Russia, Ugandans started recruiting their fellow Ugandans from these WhatsApp groups.
And after recruiting them, did they have a rendezvous, a meeting place, like an office?
They were recruiting through referrals because remember, it was illegal recruitment. So like a friend telling a friend there is this job, please come and join. So that was how they did the recruitment. It was through referrals. And it was underground because they were trying to hide this information from the authorities. They knew when the authorities get to know, they would arrest them because they had arrested them before. So they were trying to dodge the authorities. So they recruited quite a big number, and starting from September, October, November, my twin brother called Kakuru Johnson was also recruited among these returnees. They would recruit, then Dimitri would send money, and they would organize their hotel bookings and the transportation. They didn't use Entebbe airport. When they arrested them, they started now dodging Entebbe airport. So they used Kenya airport, they used Sudan, they used Rwanda, they used Congo, and even others used Zimbabwe. They were trying to dodge security. So they would go in batches of like 20, 30, sometimes even 50. But like my brother's batch, they went around 17 Ugandans. So when they would reach Russia, they would find somebody waiting for them. And they would drive, instead of like going to Moscow City, one of the cities, they would instead drive them up to the military camps. From here, from Uganda, this Dimitri had promised them good pay. He was promising them $2,000 per month as salary. And the initial group that left Uganda used to get payment of 60 millions cash down before you even travel. But I think some Ugandans would get the money and disappear. So he changed the system. He would pay the money as soon as you reach Russia. We got this information not before, but after these guys reaching Russia. So he would They would reach Russia and they would get picked from the airport and driven to the military camps. They were not expecting this because they had told them they were going to work as security guards. And the most unfortunate part of it is these Ugandans did not like differentiate between a Russian and an American. They knew all whites are like Americans. They were actually, we are treated very well by Americans in Russia, in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Somalia. So they knew it would be the same. They didn't know that a Russian is a different breed. When they reached in military camps in Russia, they would spend like 1 to 3 days and they would bring military contracts written in Russian language. None of them understood Russian language, and there were no interpreters. Even the Russians had the language barrier, they do not know English.
Even Dimitri was nowhere.
Dimitri he used to come to the military camps because it was busy. To him, it was business because Dimitri supplies Russia with manpower. He did not only recruit in Uganda, he recruited in Kenya, he actually recruited in the whole of Africa. It wasn't only in Uganda. For Kenya, I think he recruited over 1,000 Kenyans.
So here is the contract, it is in Russian.
It is in Russian. They didn't know what the details of the contract, and they were not given even any option. The only option was to sign. If you refuse to sign, it was a bullet in the head. It was that serious.
What?
Yes, it was that serious. I told my brother, if you do not understand that contract, and they were not even giving them any chance to like translate, because when they were still in the military camps, they had their phones. They were not given a chance to even translate on Google. But a few of the Ugandans were very fast, like my twin brother. I told him, you are now in a mess. You have no way out. But do me a favor, leave some evidence behind where we can start from. I started getting worried the moment my brother landed in Russia. Because for me, I had an idea about these Russians. I knew they are not easy people. There is no humanity in them. So I told my brother, do me a favor. Leave for me something that I can start from. I know from here, from the military camp, we might not see you again, but leave something for me. He tried his level best. He photocopied the contract. I was very fast, I was on the phone. I translated it using Google Translation. And I sent it back to him. In a few seconds, I sent it back to him. I told him, that is what you're signing. But from what the contract says, you're going to be serving the Russian army for a year. And the details of the contract, there were many documents, but I told him, make sure you photocopy, you take a photo of the page that shows your army number, that shows your unit, and any important paper that you think can help us. And he was very fast. He took a photo and sent it to me. I translated it and sent it to him back. And he actually helped his other colleagues, because when I translated it for him, he showed his colleagues, and they somehow demonstrated, but they were all put on gunpoint. They were put on gunpoint and forced to sign. There was no time. At the same time, this Dimitri, the one who recruited them from here, he forced them to give him powers of attorney. When you give powers of attorney to anyone, it means he is in charge of everything. Your life, your salary, everything. So he gave himself powers of attorney. So it means every person that was recruited, it is a big number. They are estimated to be around 400. Every person that was recruited by him gave Dimitri powers of attorney. It means even when the Russian government pays money, he's the one in charge. He decides whether your people get the money or not.
If they
And
die,
he was even very fast. After giving himself powers of attorney, he made sure in that short time, he took them to the bank to open up bank accounts where the salaries would go. And upon reaching the banks, they would get 2 ATMs. One goes to him, one remains with you. He had access to these accounts. You can imagine. You get paid, but somebody has access to your account. And remember, after getting access to your account, he makes sure you get paid for only 2 weeks. 2 weeks is the training they gave them. Ugandans who had worked in Iraq as security guards, they were given only 2 weeks training, military training. You can imagine, here in Uganda, in Africa, our military training takes not less than 6 months.
9 months.
You can imagine, 9 months. Now, they've gone to Russia. The people that are even advanced in everything, they are giving people without experience, without military experience, only 2 weeks. So they were trained for only 2 weeks, and straight away, after getting these getting one
initiated 2 weeks.
Yeah, after getting the access to their bank account, he made sure they get deployed on the front line in Ukraine. There was no time at all. Upon reaching the front line, these Ugandans got shocked. The war is very advanced. They are fighting drones. They are fighting robots. They are fighting the Ukrainians who have fought for decades. These are war-hardened people. They fought for decades. And these are the people they are going to face. People who have only training for 2 weeks, they are going to face these Ukrainians. First, they had no experience. What they are going to face, it is, you can even guess it. Upon reaching the front line, the food they had was enough for only 1 week. They were very far away from Russia. They are on the front line. You cannot go back and you cannot go to the front. You're caught up in between. You have no water, you have no food, you have no shelter, no medical care in case of injuries. So they were caught up in that mess. You cannot run back to Russia, because the moment you try, even if they even suspect that you're thinking of even deserting, it is a bullet in the head. If you try to run, going the Ukraine side,
They will shoot you.
they will shoot you. The drones will be the ones to kill you first. On the ground, the whole ground is mined. I think Ukraine is the most mined country in the whole world. You are running away from the drones, you're running away from your Russian colleagues, but the mines are everywhere, and the Ukrainians are also waiting for you. The Ukrainians have some humanity in them. During the exchange, the fire exchange, because for them, they look at you as enemy. They do not know that you were lured into this war. They look at you as a mercenary. So if it is to fight, they will kill you. Sometimes in cases when it is like, because they are fighting in trenches, so it is really hard even like identify that somebody is surrendering. It is really hard. And the drones also, sometimes they do not even know that they, like the robots, they are sent to shoot whatever
They
comes.
don't ask questions.
Yeah, they are sent to shoot whatever comes their way. So in some cases, even if you surrender, still you will get killed. And in some cases, the Ukrainians have helped somehow on the front line. When you are killed, they try to get details from the body, and they try to contact family. We've had some cases
Yeah.
whereby Ukrainians contact families here in Uganda. And also, these Russians, they do not want evidence anywhere. When you are killed in their hands, they make sure the body is burnt because they don't want the world to know that they recruited like Africans to fight on their behalf.
Who they call mercenaries.
Yes, but the Ukrainians, even if you're bad, this army, the soldiers, they have dog tags. They collect these dog tags and at least try to like put them in their database. So we've gotten some of the information that this one is dead, this one is a prisoner of war. For them, they have database, but the Russian side, they don't have any accountability.
You've looked at the numbers of who might be alive, who might be dead. What is your figure?
The statistics are really worrying. They are really worrying. You can imagine, they tell you the highest a person, even if you are a soldier, the most advanced, most trained soldier, surviving on the front line is almost like 2 weeks to 3 weeks. Now, look at the picture of a Ugandan who had no experience, who is not used to the weather, who does not have food to eat, who does not have shelter, because there are no houses, no camps. They are fighting in the trenches, you die in the trench. So you can imagine what are the statistics of survival of this Ugandan.
And of the numbers of the Ugandans who left, they are about 400 or between 300 and 400. How many do you believe or have knowledge of might have been taken out in action, and how many might be still alive and need help from Uganda and people running SOSs like you?
Now, obuzibu bunene in a way that when these Ugandans and even other nationalities were deployed on the front line, they made sure they get their phones from them. There is no communication. They are cut off completely. No communication. The only information we get is from these injured Ugandans. We have some injured Ugandans that are in military hospitals in Russia. Now, these injured Ugandans, they give you a clear picture. They go like 10, one comes back. They go like 50, two come back. They go like 100, sometimes all are gone. So they give you a clear picture. Some are in hospitals, they do not have arms, they do not have legs. And even in the hospital, they do not allow you to recover properly. Before you recover, before the wounds even dry, they deploy you back on the front line. We've had cases of these Ugandans who have made an alarm, sent distress messages to us, even the ambassador. I've shared these messages with all the responsible people. Our ambassador has this information, but unfortunately, he does not help. He said the Russia issue is not under his jurisdiction. He does not have the mandate. That's what he says. I've approached Foreign Affairs. I've reached almost everywhere. I've shared these messages. I've shared these pictures, but we are not getting any help. We are hitting a dead end. Everywhere we go, we hit a dead end.
These are some of the messages, lists and videos Mwami Kato zayogerako, and among them mulimu Muganda we
Kakuru Johnson, my twin brother.
What is his status?
Like as I've told you, communications. Once you go on the front line, they make sure you do not communicate with anyone because they don't want any information to get out. You die like a cockroach. And for them, the Russians, sometimes they don't pick bodies. They are overwhelmed. The statistics say they are losing over like 25,000 soldiers per month. You can imagine.
Well, we are going to come back to you, Mukulu Kato. Tugende ewa afande banda kaneka nkuite afande Kabaru.
Yes, yes.
You have been in the trenches and you are decorated soldier. Bino ebintu mwami Kato byayogerako obitegeera bulungi. Where did they go wrong? And tukubira ekifaananyi bwe boogenda mu advanced battlefield,
Yes.
is 2 weeks really enough? What are they going to deal with?
No. Kwatulaba ne babatendeka ba LDU bano abakuuma emitiyana. Tebabatendekera weeks 2. Okay? Video eno mwami Kato gy'akoze ebigambo byavo bane nasobyerako ebulaaya anduddeyo Oluganda lutandise okumbula. Ebigambo byayogedde byonna oba 90% nabyogerako nembiteeka ku TikTok yange Kabaalu Banda nga nnaku z'omwezi 14 omwezi ogwokubiri nga bwabyogedde byonna.
Era mwami Kabaalu, manya afande Kabaalu, video ya mwami Kabaalu yino ezanya ku Investigator TV.
Bannange ndowooza Munnayuganda mwamuwulidde yafiidde mu magye ga Russia. Mwamuwulidde Munnayuganda yafiiridde mu magye ga Russia. This is what happens today. Russia is almost a visa-free nation to any African country. Omuntu yenna yenna mu Africa ayagala okugenda Russia, you are welcome. You will always get a visa to go to Russia. Almost a visa-free. Okay? Guess what? Botuke Russia, at the airport, they will lie to you. They will scam you. They will make you sign a document that takes you to the military. Obo yagala oba toyagala. You will end up in the military. Yeah, Russia. Guess what? You are going on the front line. Baja kutendeka for 1 week. They train you for 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. And they will send you on the front line to fight Ukraine.
Genda mu maaso sir.
Yes. So mwami Kakulu sose kumulaba lwaleero. So mbadde mwami Kato mbadde simanyi na ebigambo byonna byayogedde ebigambo bye nayogera mu video yange mu TikTok. Bannayuganda mwegendereze nnyo eggwanga lya Russia. Waliwo enjawulo wakati wa kuba mutulaba ku TikTok, Facebook, Kabaalu ali mu magye ga Amerika. Waliwo enjawulo nnene nnyo wakati w'amagye ga Amerika n'amagye ga Russia. Njawulo nnene nnyo. Don't go to Russia. Russia erwana n'aba-Ukraine, aba-Ukraine batendekebwa America. Ebyokulwanyisa bakozesa bya America. Okay? So they know how to fight, they know how to kill. Ate babadde mu battlefield for a long time eranga mwami Kato bwayogedde. So they know how to fight, they know how to kill. You get killed. So togezaako kuduma kubanga ogenda Russia. Kikuyamba ki omuntu okupromisinga nti agenda kuwa miliyoni 2 omwezi nga togenda kuzirya? 2 weeks you are dead. Ziba zikugasiza. So ekintu ky'ogenda Russia actually omuntu yenna yenna olwaleero bw'asaba visa ya Russia, era nakyogerako ne mu video, almost 99 ku 10 bazifuna. Tebakyagaanira visa ya Russia. So kyangu nnyo omuntu yenna okugenda Russia olwaleero, naye bw'oba ogenze Russia manya kyogendako. Byogenze musimanyi tugenda kusuubula mmotoka, ojja kutuuka ku airport bakusayiningisa empapula omalirize ng'ogenze mu battlefield. Mbaddeko Poland ndabyeko bangi okusinga Abasomaali babaddeyo bangi abatolose mu magye ga Russia. Bannakenya ndabyeko bangi. Nalabako ne Munnayuganda Ssebuggwawo yagamba w'e Masaka, Kijjabwe emi Masaka eyo gye baali bamuzaala namulabako. So abo bambukisa abasobola okutoloka kubanga landmine nyingi nnyo awo ku mutalo wa Ukraine awo okudde Poland n'okusala okuva eno okudde eri. so si kyangu nnyo obeera bwezi bwa mukisa lwakuba akabembereza akaliwo nti Aba-Ukraine balina omutima gw'obuntu, so bwe bakulaba nga tobafaanana either bakuyita tourist first of all batoli mu uniform bakuyita tourist bwoba oli mu uniform kubolede kati nabo bakimanyi nti Russia is starving for soldiers, so recruiting half-baked people ne babaleeta muki mu battlefield. So singa oba osobola okudduka ku battle line ku front line bwobato omukisa gukutte osobola okusurvivinga singa oboze Ukraine kuside ya Ukraine oba noyitirawo ddala n'ogenda e Poland. Naye nga ebintu si birungi kuba ebigambo nabyogera ennaku z'omwezi 14 omwezi ogwokubiri vidiyo nagiteekerayo ku TikTok, naye olwaleero ekintu kikyagenda mu maaso. Munoonya ki e Ukraine Russia mugiveeko, ebintu bya Russia n'ebya America bya njawulo nnyo. Mujagamba olw'okuba oyo ali mujaasi wa America ali mu favor ya America. Okay, siganye ndi namu favor ya America, but still nyina favor ya Uganda. Temugenda kufiira mwerere lwakuba promisinga sente ze mutagenda na kulya. Okay.
So bobera oba abantu bano abali Russia ne Ukraine kwa front line mu experience yo basindika wa SOS oba at times bana bagenda nga bali almost undocumented okuva back home. It will be impossible for anybody to trace them ever.
Yes, very impossible. Kabaka weddimu wakati wabeera nga bakututeyo nga first of all Russia bwe kutwala ku front line their expectation you are not coming back. That's why bakutendekako katono ogende okoleko kyosobodde nga bagita body shield.
Actually bachita cannon fodder. They use you as bait, like our Ugandans. They use you as bait. They send you first. They hit you. They see where the bullet comes from. Where the bullet is coming from, and they respond. So they are using our people as cannon fodder. They are not very important to them.
So bannange mwegendereze nga mugenda e Russia. Muve ku bino musimanyi tugenda kusuubula ngoye e Russia. Muve Russia mugende China gye mba musuubula engoye. Mwagala kufiirayo.
Philosopher, bowulira emboozi zino from the horse's mouth, Mwami Kato, then experienced battle hardened soldier Fande Kabalu, Abannayuganda ki bawaliriza okusigala nga bagezaako okugenda mu mission bweziti?
Ate wano Abaganda balina olugero olugamba nti obunyonyi gye babutegera ate gye bweyunira. Kagendayo ne kabakwata kali n'akalala ne kaddayo. So kyetuzayo ku gavumenti nti sensitization tekoleddwa kimala. Nkakasa bukyanga Kabalu ateekeko ka video abakalabako be baamala aba enforcement n'abalaba bonna abakwatibwako tebafaayo. Kaakati tuli wano kyogeddwako tojja kulaba ku walawo nakyo bagavumenti etaddeyo initiative okunnyonnyola abantu. Kituzaayo wali nti singa media egezezaako nnyo okkola tutulira nnyo politics ne twerabira ensonga ezinyiga bannayuganda ne tuzireka bwezityo nga teziri answer. Tulina okumanya nti obulamu bw'omunnayuganda kintu kikulu, nti ne waba munnayuganda omu mulwanira kyova laba amagye g'Abakabalu geegombesa nnyo abantu. Nalaba America nga General wali bamwita Frank Mackenzie eyali akulira mu Middle East yagamba omusirikale wa America yakuwa mu nnyonyi e Iran twali tulina okuyungula amaanyi gonna tumugyeyo. Lwaki? Okuteekawo culture ematiza omusirikale nti newe banankwata nja kuvaayo kitwala emyaka, so nga ate ennyonyi gye muteekayo bajja gikolera omwaka gumu kitundu ebiri. So muyina okuteekawo culture omusirikale amanye nti nemba nfunye obuzibu nvaayo. Bannayuganda gavumenti yano yalimu okuteekawo culture evaluinga abantu nti omuntu ng'oggyeko ab'e Russia abakabire Cambodia gye bali abali e Thailand gye bali bonna nga bajjayo babatwala mu gundi bino ebifeera abantu bajjayo tebafiiriddwako. So gavumenti yeyina okufaayo ku nsonga eno. Mulina okubageyiniga tulina okuvaluinga naffe amawanga gaffe tubeereko naffe ne extraterritorial rights zaffe nti Russia woba oli wano n'owaffe ali e Russia abeere ne treatment y'emu. Wemuwulira ekyo musamoninga ambasada wa Russia wano mumugambe lwaki biriwo ebiti naye tebasobola kikola. Lwaki? Tino twefuula nnyo bali superior nnyo, ffe tubeeguye nnyo tetujja kubagambako. Kati abantu baffe bamaliza baluguddemu bwe batyo. Wotwa olutalo oluli e Ukraine lwe lutalo olusinga okuba modern ensi lwe yakalaba. Sematalo ow'okubibakubanga byatirale nga bimala gagwa wana abasajja bakozesa precision strikes akubira ddala wali wayagala. FPV drones ze zikozesebwa oli edda wano n'ateekako bwati gadget n'agimonitoringa paka weegenda. Kati gwe munnayuganda yamanyira AK-47 okukuba sama okwekulula wali tebikola. Lyotalo lwa technology. Kyova olaba nti nno basavaivingayo akaseera katono ne bamala ne bafa. Lwaki? Olutalo lubasuseeko. Kati mu situation ya government we yaliviiriddeyo n'ebeera nkambwe nnyo ku bantu bonna abali kuluutinga abantu bano. Gundi yali tumwine no yali mbabazi eyisa etteeka ery'okulumika amasimu n'ebintu ebyo. Government wemubanga mulumika amasimu gaffe wano abo ba Dimitri be mutalumika bo bakikaaki mugalumike mulabe ne gundi yonna sero yonna we bakola ebintu mubakwate mutaase banna Uganda.
Bamukwate Dimitri bamutwaleko ne mu basement.
Yes. So tukendeeza ku bantu bana kuba already ekikulaze nti wano we bamukwata olw'okuba twetiitirira bamutanaddayo n'aginaagina n'abalala ne bakimanyi tusobola okusigala mu project y'emu ne tugikolamu ssente. Russia eweereza ssente bo ne balya ssente ne basindika abaana bakyakola ki mu ggwanga abo mubakwate. Ola tusobola amawanga gasobola okunoonya terrorist tannaba natega bomu naye ne bamumanya alina kyafumba ne bamukwata naye bano bani be mutasobola kukwata. Then ekirala ndowooza gavumenti enesobola eggwanga lyaffe erina okuteekamu olwelementi lwa Trump yadde emu tetujja kubisobola byakola ng'ebyekisenge. Trump yagenda okusalawo bazimbe ekisenge ku Mexico ekintu kyali kimutamye. Border zaffe wano ziri porous nnyo. Omuntu yenna asobola okuba n'asala ku buli border buli direction nga bw'ayagadde. Nali amutukula nga ne No Man's Land bakizimbamu amayumba nga owe Tanzania wayoze sepiti amazzi agayiwa Uganda ze border zaffe. Kati omuntu okusalawo okugenda e Tanzania agende Zimbabwe alinye agende Russia kyangu nnyo. So tulina okumakinga sure nti border zaffe tetuzifuula kintu kyakuzanyirako. Ndowooza Kabaalu amanyi bulungi Amerika balinayo bakundi abagads obizi babayita ba custom guards abagira coast nti ku mazzi waliwo aba supervisinga. Wakirino ku buki
border patrol waliwo border patrol ne coast guard.
Yes, coast guard ng'abo n'ennyanja balina okupatrolinga balabe teri bayitirayo. So tulina okwongera okunyweza border zaffe. Singa twali twazinywezezza wali esanze nga 14,000 abagenzi atisi abasobodde succeeding oyita ku border zaffe balinga 40. Twalabye tetulajena nnyo bino naye olwo waliwo obunafu oli omumanya Uganda sijja kusobola ng'asala ng'agende Tanzania wuyo ali Zimbabwe ng'asala ngadde Kenya ng'amalisa bagenze nga bagwa mu lutalo. So tulina okuddayo tulabe tutereezezza tutya embeera eno obulamu bwa munnayuganda bubeere nga buli ki protected kuba entalo tezijja kuggwayo ate abagenda mu ntalo bo tebajja kuggwayo. Then ate nabana abantu tulina okulwanira lwaki kakati Dimitri yagenda okujja yajja atusuubiza ki ekimuleese mu Uganda. Bo bamala gakkiriza buli omu n'amala gayingira ggwanga. Dimitri simanyi ki kye yabamatiza musuubuzi. Project ki gye yabamatiza jajja okukola mu Uganda mumukkiriza ayingire. So amawanga gaffe tugaweemu ku value. Si buli omu kubanga mweru azze kayingire kubanga onakola US y'abafandika bayo yamaliza nga refu owe Somalia bamugaanye. Gwe Somalia gy'ofa oyinza okubeerako obuzibu naye ng'agenda kusala mupiira. Kati ffe weebuze Dimitri yatumatiza ki ekyali kimuleeta e Uganda okusiga ensigo eyo abantu batandika okugenda. Then ekirala social media eno tugitwale ng'ekintu ekikulu. Amaloboozi gano baagateekayo dda tewali baafayo kutula mu katambi kafande kabaalubalabe banonyeza ku nsonga eyo n'abantu abalala bangi abavuddeyo nga boogera ebintu byebimu nerako akatambi ke nafuna mukwano gwange yali ndowooza kata naŋŋamba nampeeza ekifaananyi ky'omuntu oyo omanyiko famire gy'ava yafiiridde Ukraine ne kasaasaana ku social media terina yavaayo kujja ku adressinga kintu tibannayo omuntu ali ku social media gwe bagamba nti yafa kale si munnayuganda ekifaananyi kyeggana tereere tewali yavaayo kikola wabula bonna baasirika busirisi yoyo Edison
and even others by I've gone to media, I've talked and talked. These people you see here, I've shared this list with almost media house, all the media houses. But you look at the comments down, they will tell you, after all, you see, those are all Banyankole. But the Banyankole, you are in those offices. You are in those offices, you occupy those offices, all these letters you see here, all these letters, they come from your ministries. These are your fellow Banyankole.
You wrote one to Foreign Affairs.
You've not helped at all. I'm not a happy person. Those people, those ministers, they've not helped these Ugandans. There are some Banyankole, there are some other tribes, but the majority are Banyankole. But these people in the offices have not helped at all. Even the ones that have given us appointments, you've really humiliated us. You can imagine somebody gives you an appointment, a minister gives you an appointment, you reach to the ministry, you see the minister chairing the meeting. The minister is expecting you, but they do not allow you to talk to the minister. You have an appointment. These Ugandans, these are the same Ugandans that were in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Somalia that used to send millions of dollars to this country. But now, they've abandoned them. The president, I don't know whether the president is aware, but we've talked and talked. We've gone to all your ministers. How come you're not aware? You used to receive millions of dollars from these Ugandans, but then now they are in trouble, but you cannot help them. Even your representative in Russia is the one frustrating all the efforts. If your representative is not doing his work, why can't you intervene? The CDF, one of those letters.
It is dated 13th May 2026. You were writing to the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, subject urgent request for the repatriation of Ugandan youth lured into Russia / Ukraine, and it was received by the office of the Chief of Defense Forces on 13th May, the same day.
These officers are aware of this issue, how sensitive this issue is. You can imagine we have Ugandans in hospitals right now. They are making distress calls. I've shared these messages and even videos. The ambassador is aware. These ministers are aware. Foreign Affairs, they are all aware. But you can imagine, no help at all. And in a few days, they will all be taken back on the front line. They are still nursing their wounds. Some do not have legs and arms. But as we talk, I started talking, now it has been like a month. They said they will work on it. Most of them are back on the front line. Even the few that survived, that have been in the hospitals, are now back on the front line.
I can see in one of your latest letters, 3rd July 2026, addressed to the First Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of East African Affairs, Honorable Alitwala Kadaga, with subject urgent request for emergency intervention to repatriate Ugandans on front line in Ukraine. This was tabled in cabinet.
This one, actually, I salute Mama Kadaga. She gave us an opportunity and we met her. She listened to us. She was supposed to table this issue in the cabinet meeting. But from that time up to now, nothing. There is nothing coming from there. She says the president is not attending cabinet meeting. But now, who is supposed to help us? The president is not in cabinet meeting. The Prime Minister humiliated us. We went there to her office.
What did she say?
We had an appointment to meet the Prime Minister. We even saw her. She was chairing the meeting. We had an appointment, but her staff did not even give us an opportunity to even say a single word. And these people were all in the meeting, around like 20 ministers. They were all in the meeting. As we were entering the meeting, they told us, "Watch out, go outside." We did not get the chance to meet her. You can check the letter I sent
to the Prime Minister.
Way back.
It is dated 8th April 2026 to the Prime Minister, Honorable Robin Nabanja, urgent repatriation of Ugandans on the front line in Ukraine. It was received on the same day by the Prime Minister's office.
We were invited a week ago. Instead of listening to us, you can imagine, you check the date, long time. We were given an appointment. But when we went there, we were humiliated. I was with breastfeeding mothers, some old lady, but they never gave us even a cup of water. You can imagine. We stood there from morning till evening. We never got the chance to even talk to her. And they tell you your issue was discussed. Discussed how? You even didn't even listen to us. That's what we were told. All these people you see here, and even others that are not on this list, their families behind. They have children, they have wives. Now you can imagine the pressure these wives are now, the burden they are carrying. Some of these people have 4, 5, 6 kids. Now their wives are the ones now carrying the burden. You can imagine what they are going through.
You have been to Iraq, or a place of such a kind. What was the criteria like when you were going through recruitment?
The recruitment was, it was legal. When we are going to Iraq, the Americans don't want to do things illegally. They are professional. They made sure we did training. They made sure you qualify to go to Iraq. And upon reaching there, they made sure you have good accommodation, you feed well, and you're paid on time. That is the good thing with America. And they made sure you are protected. You're protecting them, but still they offer the best protection for you. And they make sure, in case of any problem, you're compensated, which is the opposite of now Russia. I've never even heard of such people like the Russians. How do you deploy a person who does not have experience? You put him on the front line, you do not give shelter, you do not give water, you do not give food, you do not even give enough weapons or ammunition, and you deploy them on the front line.
Afande Kabalu, are there rights to mercenaries, whether illegal or illegal?
Mercenaries, they have their own
Arrangement.
Yeah, they have their own government. They are cartels in Mexico. Same thing. They have rules, but those rules they're halfway. So somewhere they don't work. Somebody makes you sign a document without translating it to you. That's illegal. But at the same time, you sign the document. So that's illegal. You signed the document, you accepted. However, you don't know what you accepted. So one side is okay, the other side is not okay. Dimitri, the Russian boy.
It's called Dimitri. He's a well-connected fellow.
So we need to get Dimitri from Russia, bring him to Uganda. We take him in a basement and teach him some Runyankole so he can stop playing with Ugandans. We need to do that for real, because he's the one now causing the problems.
He's a well-connected fellow. He's connected in Russia. He has a big say. He actually tells you, in Russia, he still threatens some of these families here in Uganda. He threatens them and he tells you, I have connections with your generals. I have connections with immigration. I have connections with anybody, even your ambassadors. They are on my paycheck.
Have you personally tried to talk to Dimitri?
Dimitri, when he finds out that you are somehow related to one of these people that we are talking about, he will not respond to the messages. Yet, when these people were getting deployed on the front line, they left standing orders. Like when the salary comes, part of the money should go to the families, but he does not respect that. He takes all the money to himself. And the most unfortunate thing, these people are dying on the front line. Their chances, majority of them would be dead by the time the war ends, because the contract says it must be 1 year. They were supposed to like go to the front line, fight for 2 weeks and return back. But now, orders changed. You have to fight until your contract ends. And surviving on the front line is almost impossible for a Ugandan to survive on the front line. You can imagine, even when you look at the numbers of the Russians dying on the front line, Russians died and they started getting from Africa and even other countries.
Yeah, Russia is very desperate for soldiers.
So they are desperate. So chances of this Ugandan to survive on the front line are almost zero.
Philosopher, is there any hope from all the two leading the one?
No hope yaliwadde singa twadde ne gavumenti esobola okuteeka akazito ku bantu abo. Naye olw'okuba gavumenti yaffe twakuliriza nnyo interest z'abantu abo. Russia be batuyamba ku nneeke nakasongola. Russia be batuyamba mu twagala kuzimba nuclear reactor be baagala ino tuyamba. So tumaliriza nga tufuuse inferior ku bantu abo. Ate era kyenkulaze nti nno wano e Uganda tukyalemedde okubeera ne gavumenti eraga nti obulamu bw'omuntu bwa muwendo. Singa tulifuna gavumenti bwetyo abantu bano balibadde basobola okuvaayo. Naye abali mu Cambodia balaajana, abali Thailand balaajana, n'abali ebuwalabu abaana bennyini era protection yaabwe si yennungi ennyo, bangi bafuna ebizibu, tulemeddwa obayamba. So chance teriwo ennyo ey'okuyamba abantu bano abali e Russia. Wabula tulina kunyiikira nnyo okulaba nti ensonga eno tugyongera. Singa tumala ne tugisigala nga tukyagyogerako nnyo, kisobola okusika attention. Ate osobola okukola Minister wa Foreign Affairs n'avayoko n'ayogerayoko weebityo tuba tutandise omusika olwo. Kuba ensonga ya South Africa bwe baatandika oyigganya abantu e South Africa, twalwawo okuliyakitinga Uganda entusirika. Uganda bwe batandika Nigeria na wano ne tutandika olwo ne bagugumuka ne babakimayo. So naffe silence yaffe ffe abali eno e Uganda yeereetera abantu bali okubonaabona. Singa bannayuganda tuvayo ne tuvayo ensonga ezirimu amakulu, Muwanga Kivumbi baamuzizayo mu kkomera ne tumuleka tugamba katusooke tusigale ku nsonga eno, twaliba ne tusobola okusikiriza abantu bano okukola reaction eri positive ku bantu. Naye naffe public yasirise, tetumanyi kye twagala. Kaakati tunuulira oli agambye nti bano bonna abasinga ndaba banankole, naye nga wendaba wano mulimu Nkwangu Jonathan munankole. Waliwo olugero olugamba nti nno ebiyenje byayagala batega obutwa batte emmese. Bwe batega obutwa n'ebiyenje n'ebiwojjolo n'ebirala byonna byafiiramu. Enkima yayagala bwokya ekibira, bagenda okumaliriza nga n'ebibe n'emisege gifiiriddemu. Kaakati gweyagadde nti kubanga banankole Nkwangu wuuno mwali agendeddemu awo. Ndabamu wano Mukasa Miiro oyo munankole, Mukasa Tone muyo, Sebo Fuligani munankole, Male John munankole, Nandere Bashiri munankole. Kaakati bwe busiru obutwogeza ebyo.
Ate n'Abannayuganda bannaye tulekeraawo okulembeza ennyo amawanga. Kintu kino kituzizza nnyo emabega. Oyinza otya okufulumya ekigambo ng'ekyo nti kasita abasinga banyankole? That's a very stupid statement.
Yeah.
You know, we all Ugandans.
Okay. Actually, nekirala okyogeddeko. Kenya recently, doza kati mwezi nga gumu, Kenya took a bold step after receiving distress messages, just like the way we are talking right now. Kenyans, as a government, they took a bold step and went to Russia and diplomatically discussed with Russia, and Russia accepted to release some of the Kenyans that were in hospitals, that were in prison. They allowed Kenya to take their citizens. When it reached to Ugandans, they are very quiet. They do not want to talk about that. How did the Kenyans do it? Uganda, even our ambassador. How can an ambassador tell you that one is not under my jurisdiction? That the president is the one supposed to intervene. Yeah? Will the president be everywhere? You are appointed in that position. Why don't you do the same? Tuzewo tukwegayiride tukusindikide message. Even these guys in the hospitals bakusindikide messages, but you cannot help. Abakenya babajayo babanafa abali malwaliro lwakiri mubajayo. Actually there are a few messages eziva mu bana na Uganda ababadde mu malwaliro. A few days ago, when the South Africa, the Ugandans that were in South Africa, they sent messages, and they were not good messages. That's all I can say. They were shocked. In South Africa, yes, they are also Ugandans, but South Africa is very close. They can even board a bus and even reach here. Imagine a Ugandan in a hospital without arms, without legs, has been making these distress calls, sending messages, but the government cannot help.
Not until the Ugandan government looks into this concern, Ugandans abali Ukraine ne Russia, all hope is almost like lost. Nayenga, we shall keep on trying to push this issue until its end. Ku production tubaddeko ne Gilbert Ian wamu ne Case Juma. Ebadde special World Affairs edition. Thank you very much Afande Kavalu ne Mukuru Kato Innocent. We are still going to be with you until the end of this issue. Until next time, God bless you. Goodbye.